Hi everyone, welcome to ZyNerd session on NRI category seats in NEET PG 2025. In this one, we will not be looking at NRI category seats in All India Counselling, State Counselling, what is the eligibility, etc. We are going to look at the changes that have happened as far as the Ministry of External Affairs notification is concerned for providing an NRI certificate from the embassy. There are many candidates who have been facing challenges, and that is why we are running this session to check and let you know what is the base behind those challenges that you are going through. We'll also take you through the documentation required for All India Counselling as far as the NRI category is required. You can also call us up if you are a subscriber. We'll give you all the documents and the formats that are required. If you are a subscriber, you will be able to get access to those in the portal as well. This is change in rules. It will impact All India Counselling. Obviously, it will also impact state counselings wherever there is an embassy certificate is required. First thing that we need to understand is that as far as NRIs are concerned, NRI category eligibility and the documents required are not standard across. You would have already seen that. We have done a lot of videos on each state's info guide which will give the NRI categories. The eligibility documents are not the same, but most of it rely on a embassy certificate to prove that somebody is an NRI. So we are not getting into OCIs or PIOs at this stage for this session. We will come up with a separate session when we do the All India info guide on that, on the documents required. They are by default eligible for NRI. If you are an OCA, your parent is an NRI, the OCA, you are eligible for an NRI seats in All India Counselling or even in many of the state counselings, and maybe based on the date, you are also eligible for government seats, date which you got OCA seats. But as far as NRIs are concerned, eligibility and documents, majority of the states ask for an embassy certificate, but there is no standardization with respect to who is eligible for an NRI seat. I as an NRI, I am an NRI, the candidate themselves, obviously there is eligibility. Children of NRI, most of the seats offer eligibility. If your parents, one of your parents is NRI, most of the states offer eligibility. Here there is no confusion. Beyond this, in terms of the nearest relative, blood relative, that is where the confusion is. Second, there are some states which offer NRI seats on priority for their state candidates, followed by other state candidates. Some states which offer NRI for priority for their state candidates who are NRI or children of NRI themselves, and then second priority for those whose nearest blood relative is NRI from their state. Some, and then other state, they move on to other states. So everybody is allotted in the first bucket, then everybody is allotted in the same state second bucket, then everybody is allotted from other states. So these kind of confusions exist. Our primary thing is, how did this all happen? The NRI entire confusion and eligibility related confusion, as there was a lot of court cases, and based on which this eligibility criteria was modified continuously. The deemed universities of Karnataka, consortium of deemed universities of Karnataka and others, this is the case where NRI was defined for deemed universities primarily, for deemed universities by the Supreme Court themselves. So the Supreme Court themselves had defined NRI in this case, and that is what was used for deemed universities under All India Counselling. Okay, so now there are two things there. One, the deemed university definition of NRI for All India Counselling, where deemed university seats are going to be there. Only deemed university seats have NRI in All India Counselling in NEET PG. UG, AMU, etc. have deemed university seats, have NRI seats in All India Counselling. So as far as deemed university seats are concerned, what was the earlier eligibility criteria and what is the new criteria and what is the priority? That is something. Second, in terms of getting the certificates required, embassy certificate is required, where the embassy says that the person is an NRI, child of this person is an NRI, or this person is sponsoring a ward, somebody whom he or she is going to take care of, and the sponsoring person is an NRI. Therefore, provide an NRI seat. Who gives the certificate? Embassy certificate. The embassy gives. The Indian embassy in the country where the NRI resides. That embassy certificate, what are the challenges that are involved? What are the changes by the Ministry of External Affairs? The first part where eligibility is concerned, that is only with respect to deemed universities unless the states change something. That is only with respect to All India Counselling. But getting an eligibility certificate, embassy certificate is for everyone. Most of the states will ask it. One or two states, possibly Kerala, might not ask it, etc. In such case, where a state requires an embassy certificate, if there is a change in who can get an embassy certificate, that will impact all. So we will get to that. Okay, clear. So first, 15% seats of deemed universities come under NRI quota in All India Counselling. In addition, 15% of private institute seats in the state counselling can be under NRI. NRI seats are usually converted to management quota in round 3. All India Counselling, this happens. Most of the state counselling also this happens. Now, this was the eligibility of NRI seats for NRI quota seats in deemed universities till 2024. So here, any one of the below category candidates are NRI. Candidate is NRI. You are an NRI. You have stayed for more than these many days and you can get an NRI certificate from the embassy. This is the simplest form. Nobody can refuse you if you have been in that particular resident of that particular place for more than 182 days and follow the criteria of NRI. That criteria is given. And nearest first degree relative. A nearest relative of first degree is an NRI. So that person is willing to sponsor you. That person is willing to give you an affidavit saying that I am sponsoring this. This is my relative. This is the relation between me and him. This is the actual relation in the form of an affidavit and ready to give their NRI certificate. They have to go and get an NRI certificate from the embassy and they will be ready to sponsor you. Therefore, you are getting sponsored by them. Who is the nearest relative of first degree? That has been defined in the Consortium of Deemed Universities case, 2017 case till 2024. This was the rule. This was based on the Supreme Court direction. Father or mother can be first degree relative. Real brother or sister is first degree relative. Note that first degree relative is what is defined. A nearest relative of first degree is defined, and that also includes real brother or real sister of father. Your father's brother or sister, or your mother's brother or sister, basically real uncle or aunt. Your paternal grandfather or grandmother, maternal grandfather or grandmother, and same way it also includes your uncle or aunt, near real uncle or aunt, father's own brother sister, mother's own brother sister, their kids. They also can sponsor. This is a list of people who can sponsor you as far as NRI is concerned in 2000 till 2024. So your father's brother, this is the candidate, father's brother or sister, same way mother's brother or sister, grandparents and their kids, mother's brother or sister, father's brother or sister, their kids, which is first degree cousins of you, not the next level, grandfather's brother, etc., my father's cousins, etc., father's real brother or sister. These are the list of people who can sponsor. OCAs and PIOs are also eligible. We will come to that later. For OCA candidates, no document other than the OCA card is required. Currently, they might need a certificate. This was the rule last year. This is all rules of last year. Now, what has changed this year? Basis definition. That is what we are going to see. So they came up with multiple notifications during UG, and that will also be implemented obviously for PG. We'll have a look at it over here. The same is being implemented. We know that because candidates are facing challenges. We will look at one. First, what they did was they put up this notification for UG. We'll give you the history and tell you what happened. They put up a notification saying, in reference to MEA guidelines for issue of NRI certificate by missions in notice dated 21/7 and earlier notice, only NRIs, they did not say only, but NRIs or children of NRIs or OCAs or PIOs, please apply. Usually what they do is, they will ask you to send scanned documents, give you 2 days time for converting from NDN to NRI. Or if you are an NRI, then you have to get these documents done. Okay, so that is what you need to do. But what they did this time was, they mentioned very specifically NRIs or children of NRIs or OCAs, PIOs. Such candidates need to send the scanned documents to get them converted to NRI seats. Those candidates who have submitted NRI, this is something that came up new, nationality as NRI in NEET UG registration form, need not send across the documents. They will automatically be considered as NRIs, but at the time of reporting at the allotted college, you will have you will automatically be your documents will be checked. So let us say you put in as NRI in All India Counselling, in NBE examination, maybe documents are not required, but don't take a chance, get the documents. So if your nationality, candidate's nationality only you will put, not fathers, sponsors. So in that case, that is not required is what they have mentioned, but documents will be checked, and later all these documents will be sent to MCC, and they will check with the missions. All of them had to give this attestation. Whom have we covered here? Parents, candidate who is NRI and parent who is NRI, correct? Those are the ones who are covered here, and they ask them to send across all the documents including the NRI embassy certificate, etc. of the candidate or parent. Now here they also shared this press release. This is an example of a press release of San Francisco Consulate General of India. This is for new guidelines of NRI certificate. This is for all NRI certificates. What is relevant for us? So anybody who wants to get a certificate saying I'm an NRI, they go to the particular high commission or mission or embassy or consulate and then get this certificate. What we are concerned about is NRI certificates for educational benefits. Usually it is given for multiple reasons, financial taxation benefits, etc., etc. For educational benefit, what is the criteria is what we are concerned about. Criteria of admission for students under NRI quota are as follows. Who will get admission? NRIs, children of NRIs, ward of NRIs. This is given by Ministry of External Affairs to all the missions abroad. So they have mentioned NRIs, children of NRIs, wards of NRIs are eligible. Ward should include only a minor. If you are an NRI or children of NRI, no minor or anything, obviously that is not given. But ward should include only a minor who is under the bona fide guardianship of an NRI. Clear? Two rules. Ward will be a minor, which means the person who is a ward is a minor. So whoever is going to do PG should be a minor. No PG going candidate is a minor. Correct? Everybody is at least 22 years old. So that is one part. Who is under the bona fide guardianship? For UG, this is not a problem. If they have mentioned it to everyone without mentioning PG or UG, what does it mean? It includes everyone. Same, this is a difficulty that many candidates are facing. Everybody who has gone to these consulates, mostly in US we have checked and UAE, what has happened is these candidates are not able to get a NRI sponsorship certificate. These two sets, I am an NRI, my parents are NRI, that is fine. They are getting certificates. But those who are going and asking for a certificate mentioning that an NRI sponsor is there, who is not a parent, you are not NRI, the sponsor is there, my real brother, sister, what the first degree relative. They are going in and asking, the first question is your ward a minor? Your ward is not a minor, so therefore certificates are not being given. This is the challenge that we are facing. We asked many candidates whether you have got a certificate even being a not being a minor. Nobody is responding. So you're not a minor, therefore no certificates. Evidence of bona fide guardianship must be produced before the mission. That bona fide guardianship evidence should simply showing that the guardian has looked after the student will not qualify as relatives, but a proper certificate or an affidavit will be sufficient, but that has to be provided before the mission. But in any case, all these are not relevant if they are not giving it for a minor ward. And also know that those who are not bona fide guardians as per above definition will be excluded, and the first degree relation is defined here. Note that this is very critical when it comes to the next notification. First degree, who can be eligible for sponsoring? The first degree relation including real brother and sister over and above the mother and father. So real brother and sister comes under first degree relation is NRI and receiving award. They can give, for UG they can give, PG the minor clause will be a problem. Nearest relation, again whatever we have defined, they have defined as a nearest relation, that is this is first degree, this is possibly the nearest relation. This we assume that they have mentioned second degree relative, going with a different definition with whatever the Supreme Court has mentioned. So this is pretty simple. This is what is basically required as far as those who are not children of NRI or NRI they themselves are concerned. This first degree, these people can, these set of people can sponsor, but you should be a minor, which is not possible in PG. So that is where the difficulty arises. The documents that are required are very clearly mentioned. You can go through this. If you want this notification too, you can check in our UG page, or you can also call us up. The validity of NRI is 1 year. It is very clearly mentioned. So if you have taken an NRI certificate last year, that is not going to be useful. Anyways, that is not useful anytime. So you can't go with an NRI certificate in September last year and then say that I will be eligible for this year. That clearly would mention the admission dates and admission year, etc., and would clearly not be applicable. Proforma for NRI certificate is mentioned as an annexure A. Same ways for OCA is also there is a certificate. OCAs do not need anything. OCAs that themselves OCA or parents are OCA, they can be sponsored. They will directly get a certificate. The NRI certificate format is this. It's a very simple certificate. The embassy will also give you the certificate, especially if you are an NRI, you are NRI yourself or your parent is NRI, you will obviously immediately get the certificate. If it is an OCA candidate, this is the certificate format. This is the first notification that was put up. The second notification, so here what do we see? Nothing was mentioned in the first notification on this. All these templates are given, the guidelines are given, but MCC did not call for anybody other than NRIs or children of NRIs or OCAs or PAOs. They did not call for bona fide guardian certificate, NRI sponsorship. So a few days later, on 2nd of August, they gave this notification saying, as per press release and got embassy certificate, who have applied for embassy certificate or NRI certificate, they will be considered. What do you need to do? You have to get a bona fide guardian. For the bona fide guardians, you need to get this particular thing done. One, a relationship and family tree affidavit is required, and a sworn affidavit is required as per MEA approved format, showing that they will bear the cost, and this should be issued within the last 6 months, not 1 year validity as mentioned, and the NEET scorecard and self-declaration. So this needs to be shared by them, and such candidates will be considered, and they need not send their documents again, is what is mentioned. The list 1 made of eligible candidates is also attached here. Now here, only these are the certificates that are required, but note that I have an embassy certificate is something that you need to declare. That embassy certificate is also required, that you need to show, and therefore there is a lot of confusion on this part of getting the embassy certificate for a ward who is a minor. So this was shared later for bona fide guardian. UG, there was a list that was shared. The list also had another information which is very critical. We see that for PG also this might be implemented. What did the list say? The list said these are the candidates who are eligible. If you're not in this, please connect back or something. But beyond that, it gave something which is very important, the priority. This is to inform that the candidates, that the allotment of seats under NRI category will be conducted based on the following priority. Priority 1 is NRI candidates and children of NRIs. This is straightforward. Everybody will get a certificate, embassy certificate. The first degree relatives of NRI wards, second degree relatives, both of them are clubbed under priority 2. Who is a first degree relative? We still have a confusion. Obviously, children of NRI and NRI candidates are allowed out. Like we saw in the MEA one, real brother and sister might come in here. Why are they first degree relatives? We are not sure. Second degree relatives, does it refer to the nearest relation, is what we are confused about. Irrespective of that, all of them would be priority 2, which means if you are an NRI or a child of NRI, rank 1 in PG, till rank 1,39,000, they will be allotted. You will get allotment. Only after that, even if there is a rank 1000 here, that candidate will be allotted. So you will have more chances because you are priority 1. That is how it possibly will work out if this is done. One thing that we need to notice, the Supreme Court order still exists in deemed university case. This change, how it happened with the MEA, we are not clear. So how and why they are changing this, and the reason why we are mentioning it, halfway through this change has happened without any intimation. There are a lot of candidates who are finding it difficult. Even if I am a bona fide guardian, I have taken care of a person who is an NRI and who has completed their MBBS. Their parents are not well to do off. I am taking care of them as a bona fide guardian. Just because that person is not a minor, I am not able to sponsor them. Whether that is right or not, we are not sure. There are also that is also the other end, where there are a lot of wrong sponsorship that happen. There are forged certificates, documents, etc. That is being taken care of as well. This time, MEA has taken a step forward to ensure that all the documents sent after joining are also sent to the external particular embassy and checked for genuineness. So that way, in Tamil Nadu, etc., there were a lot of candidates caught, and they will be debarred also. They have mentioned they will be debarred for multiple years. So please don't take a chance if it is not a genuine NRI case. Please don't do that. But if it is a genuine case and you are under bona fide guardianship, if you are facing challenges with respect to getting a certificate because you are a minor, this is the reason why that is happening. So if you are a minor, because you are not a minor, then this is how it is happening. So just to make you give you that information, we had run this session. Same issue might come up with the state. If they ask for an embassy certificate, they are not getting an embassy certificate because you are not a minor. That person is not being able to sponsor you because you are not a minor. Then this is the reason why you are not getting it. It might impact states as well. Thank you.